to the Bombadcast.
Wow. Oh, it's the wrong thumbnail.
Wowie. Wow.
Thumbnail and the wrong one gets uploaded. Give me a second.
Wowie. Oh, wowie, wow.
Wowie. What's going on?
Wowie, wow. Hey,
Wow,
what is
wow,
up?
wow.
Wacko McSpacko. Here we are.
Cuckoo Magoo.
Woo. Yeah, y'all listen. Welcome to Sleepy Town. Population us. It's good to be here. Hope everyone's doing good. Yeah. Listen, it's not going to be Sleepy Town here in a second. Whenever we let our lovely guests in,
You'll pitch it.
Here we go. We've already got people. We've already got people calling in the chats. Oh my god!
Your Sleepy Town will end up being a tent in your bed when I pull up this next person. So this summer we're joined by the one and only, a good friend of the show, a rotating host of ours as of right now. Maybe it's a test trial. I don't know if the fans like it. We might have to pay this guy. But yeah, this is one of the sexiest people alive. I saw another version of my clip fell my I
gotta make sure that I don't get blinded by the sheer just heat coming off the screen.
I saw a what do they call it? What do they call it in the Marvel universe where it's not that original person, not a replicant. What do they call it? You know, when there's like two different versions. What is it called?
A clone?
No, dude. In Marvel, when they've got like two different versions of the Scarlet Witch or some shit. You know what I'm talking about? What do they call them?
Are you talking about the aliens that change into?
Dude, I'm gonna kill you. No, what do they call it when there's like two different Captain Marvels and two different Captain Americas? There's a variant. I saw
variant, multiverse. Okay, fine. Yeah, I was saying a scroll. Like,
no, I saw a variant.
Welcome to Marvel talk. Yeah, we go. Yeah, what if there was two Captain Marvels? What about that? What would that be?
Hold on. Now wait. Let me don't derail me. What I'm saying is I saw a variant of this next person named Faux Organa giving head to three different men. That's right. We have the one and only Joe Organa.
Hi. Woo! Hi guys.
There he is.
How are you? Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be back, and I'm so excited that there is a variant out there of me doing everything that chat wants me to do.
Can we see some chest?
Talk about a load off my back. Am I right, guys?
Oh, hey, ayo.
Can we see some chest? Can we see some chest, please? Please.
Here we go.
That's right. Jerry, get the comment off screen. Get the comment. I want to make sure I screenshot this for Twitter. Look at that. Get the comments off screen. There we go. Look at that. Ooh, fuck. Okay, good. We got it down. No, that was a pretty impressive thing. And you saw the Photoshop version that our friend Charlie Ashby did.
I did, yes.
Yeah. That would get me canceled.
Yeah.
So that would definitely get me canceled. Yeah. But anyway, Joe, I love you. I'm so glad you're here. How was last week? Have you enjoyed being a Bombadcast rotating host recently?
You know what? It's been such a rush, you guys. Much like Chapel Roan, I'm feeling really overwhelmed with all this incredible intention, this newfound celebrity that I have. Wow, things are happening so fast, you guys.
Oh my God, really serving cunt, as the young people say.
Yeah. Call that the Bombad bump, actually. I hear. Yeah.
That's not what Scotty described it as.
Hell no.
Yeah. He calls it the Bombad lump for some reason. I don't know. It's weird.
I call it the Bombad hump when I'm arched over Joe sweating like a cat.
That's right.
Anyway, let's bring in one of my favorite people in the world, someone that I love listening to talk and talking with. We've partied together. We've both been very drunk together at a wonderful bar in LA. And oh God, what was the name of it? Something V's. Bobby V. What is it? Do you remember, Jerry?
Bobby V's, Tony V's.
Tony V. Okay, we're just gonna bring him
Tony
in.
V's.
Formerly of Pink Book, one of my favorite people of all time. What's going on, Mark? How you doing, baby?
Mark! Oh, what's going on, sexy people?
God, I love you. How are you doing, dude?
I'm doing all right. I'm pretty fucking tired because it was a long day at work, but I'm good.
Oh man.
No, Mark,
well, hey.
So I got to give a shout
now
out
we
to
can
Mark
relax,
quick.
right?
Mark, we were telling him that we wear the Jedi outfits for the stream, and we just mentioned, hey, you don't have to, but check it out. Look at Mark right now. What has he got on? What has he got on? There it is.
No, don't threaten me with a good time, man.
Yeah.
That's right. No, we are all here abstaining from any personal relationships with anyone. That's what we are doing on screen tonight.
Yeah.
We love that.
That's right.
We were.
That's all. No, I just want to say a few things to start this off. I was going to say a few things to start this off. I'm just so happy to have both of y'all here. Of course, this is a great time to discuss this show. There's so many things going on with this show. There's a lot of voices that I think are very important to hear. And, I'm just going to say it as straightforward as I can. I've seen a lot of weird things about this show that have made me very uncomfortable. People's response to this show have made me deeply uncomfortable. But it's not everyone. It's probably just a minority of voices that gets amplified because of things like Twitter and things like Facebook and all social medias. But I really want to know if y'all have been enjoying this show, because I could say I have. Like, genuinely, I could say I have. Mark, have you liked this?
The show so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Episode 3 got a little weird, but it was supposed to be weird, right? It's like it took us into a new direction that I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting all this. But yeah, it's new Star Wars though.
It's very new. I agree. That's a good point. It's just new. It's fresh. Joe, what about you, baby?
Yeah, man, I've been loving the show so far. It's very different, very exciting. I feel like we barely dipped our little toes into the show. So that's
Absolutely.
why, I do my best because I'm genuinely a fan of Star Wars and I want to watch it to enjoy it. I try to keep myself off those dark, seedy corners of the internet that Scotty probably often finds himself in, where we have a lot of those opinions, because I want to enjoy it and I don't want to read someone's dumb opinion that's very stupid and also not very smart. Because I'm very smart and very cool. And I just want to enjoy it. And so I don't want to taint it. So I'm shocked to hear that people are, responding that way. I guess not. I guess I shouldn't be shocked because they've responded so negatively to even smaller pieces of representation that have been introduced to Star Wars. But it's sad because the show, I feel like we've barely gotten into it and we're just getting into it. So I heard you guys talk about how they were mad about the Jedi being the bad guys or whatever, but we don't even know if that's really what's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so, just give it a chance, guys.
There's literally from here on, there is 5 episodes left that run about 40 minutes each. There's a lot of time to tell the full story, There's just a lot of time of it. And I think it's really cool that they've done some really interesting things with characters I wasn't expecting, May and Osha in particular, which we'll get to that in a minute. Jerry, have you really enjoyed this show?
This has been, and I talked about this to no end last week, and for years, this has been my most anticipated show for a long time. Just when they announced all the things that were coming out, and again, especially after I got into the High Republic books and everything. This has been one of the most engaging, intriguing pieces of Star Wars content since The Last Jedi, in my opinion. Damn. Because so it's been really hitting all the buttons that I like something to hit, where I don't know where it's gonna go. There's I don't even know, it seems like the Jedi did some pretty fucked up shit. Again, we don't, not necessarily the bad guys, but there's definitely some fucky shit afoot. And I don't know, I am really enjoying it. And I'm just, the one thing I hate is that we only got the 1 episode this week, which I get. It's fine. Let's stretch it out. But I it's a good problem to have to want the next episode, So, but yeah, I'm really enjoying Scotty, but you've been enjoying this thoroughly as well.
No, this has been amazing. And it's honestly, it's tickled some parts of my brain that I really like. And y'all know I'm a big advocate for some weird stuff in Star Wars, like midichlorians and all that. And I'll always be, because it does mean a lot to me. And I did a big video essay on that stuff. But regardless of all that, this show has expanded on some Force stuff that I never knew we'd get. If I'm going to be real with you, I just didn't think we'd ever get more elaboration on some heavy topics that George implemented back in the 90s. You know, it's real stuff. I guess another thing too is this show has got time jumps, which I think are fantastic, fun to play with. Not many of the shows have done that. I know Cassian did it a little. I mean, Andor did it a little bit, but this is like a whole different realm of like a whole episode that is based 16 years in the past. And if I'm going to be real, I have been waiting to see how they interacted as kids, because as they're going to be adults, Osha and May, like it's certainly going to be different. You know, they're going to have very different things to say and feel when they do and, you know, inevitably meet up again.
Well, and the names of the, I'm sorry, Joe, you were going to say something. You look like,
oh, I mean, Scotty is so intriguing when he talks. I just can't help but
he is
enthralled in the conversation. No, he was just talking about May and Osha and how they interacted as kids. And I had so many thoughts about it as I was watching it and as I was rewatching through it. Because it was really interesting. Like in the first 2 episodes, it's like, oh, these twins, they were separated. One went to the dark side, one became a Jedi. Or you know, a Padawan learner. And this episode, we learned so much more about how they were before they were separated and how that separation occurred. And it was interesting because maybe I've been watching too much Baby Deer, but May was very possessive. May was very obsessive and controlling of Osha, even as a child. And those dark side tendencies were already there.
Absolutely.
And we saw that when she was sitting under the tree playing with the bird bug things, and we saw that obviously throughout the entire episode, and it was really intriguing to see that. And I'm just excited for the next episode because this one answered a couple questions, but I feel like it gave us so many more questions.
And we know too there's more of that flashback in other episodes, because there's that one shot of Kelnaka igniting his green lightsaber and you see Torben like doing a flip. Like there's more than meets the eye there. You know what I mean?
What I loved about this, you know, is the titles, and I'm sure they're going to keep this going through the whole thing, but they've been so clever with, you've got the 2 different perspectives. I think someone was saying that last week and stuff. You get the 2 different perspectives of each twin in the first 2 episodes. Then this one is one title because it is specifically, it's so cool how it was just, we didn't shift to anyone else's point of view.
Right.
It was all from Osha's point of view. That was such a bold choice, I feel like, and also a very interesting and intriguing choice. Again, we're getting the whole Rashomon thing again, which I think we already kind of like. We were already on some Rashomon like shit last week. Like, oh, what if we do this thing? And they're gonna drag you out to the very end and stuff. So
So Jerry, look, I love that idea, right? So the Rashomon part of it, right? But here's another way we could look at it. What if we wait until the end and it's like Clue and we get like 3 different endings?
Oh, see, I would love that.
Mark,
that'd be crazy.
As you said earlier, don't tip me with a good time. Okay. Come on.
I kind of like vagueness. Like I really do. I think as an audience member, like here's one thing that I know have pissed off people. I can tell it has, because I know people that are pissed off by it. We never got a name for the planet that Vader and Obi-Wan had their rematch on. That unnamed moon or whatever the hell that is in Kenobi. And I know people that are personally pissed off by that, but there's something really cool to that. Like that feels really mythical. That feels really big and grand. Like you don't know where they fought. It's not just trivia. Oh, my wife's in here. Do you need anything from Target? That's so typical. Fuck, I don't know.
One of the giant concrete balls from the front, actually.
Big reg one. No, I don't know yet, sweetheart. Thank you for joining. But that being said, her and I actually, it's our 90th anniversary today.
Yes.
Dating.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
We're going out to eat Saturday night. But anyway, I wrote this down because you brought up Destiny, Jerry. This is one line that Mother Anastasia said. Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force, which I want to get into like the force stuff, by the way, the naming of it. You get to make a choice, Osha. You get to make a choice, Osha. If you want to pull the thread, pull it. And then she said, fear should not make this decision. You should. So I love the whole symbolism of the thread. But like, if you want to pull the thread, you can. You know what I mean? And if you pull a thread, sometimes it'll tear. You know what I mean? Like it's like, there's so much different things to dissect, because we've always had the force be kind of the dark side and the light side. And then, of course, we had the witches, and we had other things that kind of, I know the High Republic gets into like the Force is this many different things. It could be an ocean, it could be a fire, all that stuff. But this having its own unique name to these witches, the thread, and then they pull this like purple out of it. Fuck, that's so cool. God, that's so cool.
Really
What'd
cool.
y'all think of that name?
Really cool.
Did you like the thread?
Well, I think it. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
No. I just think that we're getting so many different ways of looking at this thing that we call the Force, right? We were only ever introduced to it as the Force. And now that we're finding out that across the galaxy, people have different ways of tapping into that energy. They call it whatever it may be. We may find out that there's a whole planet powered by it because they were able to harness it for that reason. Not in a bad way, but to be sustainable. Anything's possible now. Like these are things that I was like, before I would have kind of resisted. Now I'm like, okay, you've kind of opened Pandora's box. There's a lot more here now.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like this idea that, and look, and this will get a little religious, but like, I grew up Catholic my entire life. I don't really know what I identify with now. I work for a Catholic facility, but the reason I say all that is because they say this in all mythologies. The same thing I maybe worship or I idolize or I connect with, that God feeling, is the same thing that someone who may be Buddhist has that same exact sensation, or maybe even someone that's into paganism. Like all of that is like just a feeling of being interconnected, and like a thread is the perfect way to display that. I mean, a thread is what's holding up everything I'm wearing right now. A thread is I mean, you can look at string theory too. A thread was what holds everything together.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's so interesting.
Well, and I mean, you mentioned like the people having different ways to look at things. I mean, you even had Mother Anastasia saying that line, this isn't about light or dark. This is about power and who is, it's from the trailer, but this is about power and who's allowed to wield it, which is a really cool line. They're doing so good just setting up these people who aren't Jedi, aren't Sith, aren't really discernibly bad or evil, just people just trying to I don't know, like do that. It's such man, I don't know. I am absolutely just in love with these new covens and things. I love this stuff. It's adding so much, like you were saying also, Mark, just adding so much to the world. And so everything's kind of like just kicked wide open now.
Yeah, I just think it's really cool too that this is a coven of witches, and like not just like ordinary witches, like there's ones that are in relationships together. And it's like the first, like, at least I know we had Andor, the first on-screen like gay relationship in that way in Star Wars. I may be wrong. I may be missing one. Oh, they had the kiss in The Rise of Skywalker, but even that was kind of like
painful.
Yeah, it was just like boop, done. And I was like, oh well, that's weird. But like that felt that I'm like, that's a little okay. But no, this however, it's like it was love. It was a beautiful relationship of love, like touching each other's faces, and it didn't linger on it too much. It was very much just part of the culture there. And I love that because then it leads into one of the coolest things, which I don't want to get into just yet. I think we should save. I want to save my load. I want to blow my load on all these gentlemen later, because I do want to get into the virgin birth and all that stuff, because that is some heavy fucking stuff for me. But I mean, like, that is stuff I love in Star Wars. But I do want to mention this. How did y'all feel about Osha having a little bit of that dark side tendency too, when she was playing with the little bug thing, and then she was like, and it was like, that was weird. I don't know. That was a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was like a little bit of dark side music that played as she did it, but she knew when to pull it back. And I think probably their culture doesn't teach the Force or the string or whatever, and the thread, in so clearly separated dark side and light side. It's probably a little bit more about balance between the two, and they probably don't even define it in that way. So I don't know. It just seemed like Osha maybe had a little bit more of a natural understanding of balance in the Force, as opposed to her sister May, who maybe seemed like she dabbled in the dark side a little bit more. It was easier for her to lean into that. So,
but they also mentioned the Mother Anastasia is like we would be banished for our powers, because they don't represent a certain side. You know what I mean? They don't represent a precise perspective. You know what I mean?
It felt a little bit like, what was it, the Spanish Inquisition? Where these people are being chased around because they are practicing the Force, but they're not following the Jedi way, or they're not subscribing, and they're on a planet that's not part of the Republic. And when Master Indara is like, "Hey, listen, the Republic got these laws," she's like, "Listen, we're not in the Republic right now, baby. You're on my planet, okay? Well, and you're acting like you didn't even know we were here. It's getting a little weird."
Yeah, but the non-violent use of the Force is what's got me kind of going. You know what I mean? Not the Jedi do it in defense, but they aren't afraid to do a few little weird things, mind tricks and pushing people. And there was the one scene in this that I thought was, I guess, peculiar, was the fact that Mother Anastasia was like, no, we can't attack them, don't attack them. And like when she was teaching Osha and May the Force, like, she was explaining it like, you'd use it as a way to defend yourself, but it's at no point attacking these people. She's always using it as defense. And the thread being the thread being more of a defensive, actually even less than that, just non-violent. Like instead of choking out what's his name? Tobin? Did I say it wrong? No?
Torben.
Torben. Yeah, choking him out. She did something to his mind,
Yeah,
so I'm like
she said, "You will bald by 30."
It's
right.
It was a slow burn. Here. It was a slow burn, that one.
Yeah, I do like, though, the sister of it all. You know what I mean? I like them fighting and pushing each other. Some people said that was bad acting there. I don't know if I certainly
I think it's like
it's more like kids being annoying and fighting, right? So yeah.
I mean, I always find it weird when people are so like nitpicky over child actors too. It's like, I mean, come on, like I mean, like you say, like you said, Mark, it's like kids. I'm sorry, kids can be annoying. And so I just had one in my house about like 2 hours ago. So it is what it is.
I had a class full of them today, and like they do that literally. This so tangent, but like I've been doing a summer course this year, and I've been teaching nothing but siblings because they just dump these kids in my class, and I teach 4th through 8th grade for the summer. So I've got like a 14-year-old kid and their 10-year-old or 9-year-old little sibling, and like they're just the same exact thing as May and Osha. It's like you can't tell them, like, I'm not their dad or their parent. I'm like, hey, y'all can't fight like siblings. They're gonna fight like siblings, and it's gonna be over weird stuff. Like one kid was so mad that the other kid got to use that particular Wii remote when we played Wii Sports earlier. I'm like, this is the most annoying thing in the world, but that's what siblings fight over. When that little fruit is caught and she puts it in her pocket, and then May's like, no. I'm like, that I see that shit constantly in the middle of me teaching. They're just like, fuck. But I guess most people don't realize that Star Wars, of course, it is serious in its own way. But like when you get kids involved, like Anakin's very much a kid. You know what I mean? Like he's a little dude. So is Leia and Kenobi. And these two little girls are being sisters.
Yeah.
Fighting with each other. They're both like what, 12, probably 13? They're like little.
Were they 8?
They're
younger than that? Oh, I don't know if they were.
Yeah, they have to be younger than that.
I think they said it in the episode 8, right? Am I crazy?
Like 8 or 9,
maybe.
Which is wild because that's just like 1 year older than mine, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's weird
to me. It is weird, but God, it's and I can see where people have like saw that may go like, oh, that's weird or off or something. But again, it to me it reads as these are kids who are being trained to be witches and stuff like that, I mean, it is what it is. But just, I don't know. It's again, listen, you can have your criticisms and whatever, but just lay off the child actors.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's just weird to me. So
look how wonderful. We got Wikipedia in the chat. So glad you're here, Wikipedia.
What's up, Wikipedia?
Wonderful. But we have a very active.
Oh yeah, you get shout out Scotty and not Jerry. Okay,
I think it's because of Mark and Joe. We've got such an active chat. People just want to see more chess, Joe. I don't know. People are just dying to see more chess. Oh, here we go.
They love a Wookiee,
man.
Yes.
This see, look at this.
They're looking. Oh, they're telling me to button up. Actually, sorry.
No, I was
Yeah,
gonna
no more.
say
They don't want Ewok. They love a Wookiee, not an Ewok.
it's getting a little steamy. I miss the steam queen. You know, I miss that Friday night. Gets my rocks off. Anyway, so sorry. I like that May is successful in the practice round. It kind of has that, like, you know, I got you to Osha, you know. But Osha, the entire episode, you know her motivations. You know she's got the Luke Skywalker energy. I don't want to be here, you know. I like that. I like that.
Reminded me of also like Mulan too. Like she didn't want to be this thing that she's been like brought up to be, right? When will my reflections show who I am inside? Like that's it in a nutshell, right? And being a witch is just like, that's not for me. Sorry.
yeah. And like, look, I mean, it's so funny because Luke, I don't want to be a farmer. Ray, you know, I don't want to be a scavenger my whole life. I've got things I need to do. So like it's this classic, you know, twin sons moment. But in this case, which is kind of a cool duality, it's like twin moons and they're like syncing up whatever that was. That is,
and one was blue and one was red.
Yes.
Light and dark. Oh my gosh. And then the scene ends really weird. Did you guys catch that? I mean, like, did you?
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, what happened there? Like, all of a sudden, they hear a noise over by their, like, is it their power generator or something like that? Whatever's running their colony. And then the scene just sort of ends. Yeah. So it's like, this was someone setting something up at that moment. Like,
the generator, right?
Right?
Because it was right there.
Right.
It's like it's literally like Obi-Wan crawling over to like the reactor, you know, or like you know, or something. Just I don't know. Oh boy, am I forgetting? My God, I've forgotten my terms. Never mind.
Jesus. No, I do like that though, because there's
Tractor
like
beam.
three.
That's what it is.
There you go. There's like 3 beats of that. The first beat was that one where they're like, "What was that noise?" The second beat, and Jerry brought this up. Jerry, what was the second beat? You brought it up in a text to me.
Okay. I want to know what's in the goddamn hole.
Yes,
we all do, baby.
There was the one shot.
Mark.
It was. I know. We all. I want to know where the hole is. Yeah. Give me. Yeah. What is in that hole, baby?
Oh my God.
Tell me what's in the damn hole. No. So whenever they have the girls go off to bed or something, and then you don't see who exactly is standing around the hole with like the giant like Catholic-esque pagan as fuck like idols or whatever, and the sinister music, and it kind of zooms out a little bit. You don't see anything, and then it cuts away, and we never go back. We never go back. So there is something afoot.
Oh yeah.
These people not necessarily evil, but there is something sinister
dark side
about that damn hole.
Yeah, there is. It's a dark side of the hole. Yeah,
something's up, right? Well, here's the thing. Now that I think about Obi-Wan and like the tractor beam, you remember when he wanted to distract the stormtroopers, he made that noise with his hand.
Oh shit, that's true.
That's that for some reason I didn't even think about that till right now.
The Jedi had snuck in, or I mean, I think we all have. I think we all have some suspicions on who on the Jedi team, if not all of them, are are maybe not so trustworthy right now.
Yeah.
But Kelnock is definitely not one of them. I would trust that man with his shaved Wookiee head.
I love the moment, by the way, whenever Osha walks up behind him and goes, "Hey," and he turns around and just like says hi like Chewbacca. It's just it was so sweet. I loved that moment. That was just so sweet. And just like I love that they had a connection. Like even when she walked out and May was pissed off at her, she looked towards Klenaka, and Klenaka kind of was like, "It's okay." You know, kind of a thing. Or whatever he said. Yeah, is it Kermit the Wiggy? It's gonna be all right.
Thank you for coming by. Love you.
Well, bye, Wikipedia. Thank
I'll
you.
be DMing you soon.
We'll see you.
We'll do some midi-chlorian things. But no, I do like the idea of, because I hadn't thought about that, Mark. But you know, this is where it could get really weird and dense. Maybe it could have been a Sith the entire time, knowing that this coven is there, knowing that the Jedi is also there, and manipulating some classic, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna make a noise over there. I'm gonna make them think it's the Jedi that are the problem the entire time, while Sith's been actually lurking around. And there's something to be said about the Force is not inherently good or evil. There are aspects of it that are good and evil. The use of the Force is, and the person who uses it is kind of what determines that. It sounds really, like a classic, like gun kind of nonsense, like oh, it's not the gun, it's the people that use it.
But I mean, your intentions are everything, right?
Yes,
like that's like your true self will come out in the way that you use something like that, the way that you handle power, or the way that you handle situations and things like that. Just like
I just remember the third beat. I remember the third beat. There's a third beat. So we've got the noise from the generator. You've got them looking down the hole. And the third beat that I didn't see people talk about too much was the one where we're the only kids here. And both those people braiding their hairs look up at each other and then look down. Did anyone else catch that?
Yeah.
It was weird.
They did.
I guess I almost thought that was like guilt or something like that, but I don't know. I don't know.
By the way, Travis has the idea that I've had since after the first 2 episodes. That's been on my mind since. That's who my money's on.
Who?
Indara.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I don't think she's dead. I don't think that. Yep. I think she's part of all this, if not the big baddie. But
okay.
That's who my money's on. But I might be wrong. But we'll see.
That's kind of that's blowing my mind, honestly. So after this episode, again, we got to get the rest of the pieces. I feel that her and Torben are kind of the ones that are the instigators of the trouble, if not mainly Torben.
Okay.
Mainly Torben. I mean, at least even if they're not the actual, even if she's not the actual Sith, like I feel like they're the ones, the Jedi that kind of like leaned into. Although they might pull, see, this is what I love about the show is they could pull a fast one, and like Soul could like they could pull the rug out from under all of us, and Soul could have been like done something really fucked up. At that moment,
which will be hard.
I don't think Soul is the Sith, but yeah.
We have so many suspects right now.
He clearly lies to her at the end, or goes along with the story.
Or maybe he doesn't have the whole story himself.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, like, he's like, oh, OSHA started the fire and they died in the fire. And there's clearly all these people just dead, not burnt, like maybe they died of heat exhaustion.
I mean, they did start the fire, so he wasn't lying there at all. But the thing is,
always burning since the world was turning.
The thing is, there's so many suspects. We can't, every time I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, it was in Master Indara and Torben. Torben was racked with guilt for what his master made him do. That's why he killed himself or whatever. There's so many other options as well. Like it could have been one of the mothers. Corbin? Yeah, Corbin.
Yeah.
Torben.
No,
Torben or Coral?
The mother. Oh, you're
Coral.
Thinking of,
listen. Here's my theory.
Coral.
They were talking in the episode, Mother Coral and Mother Anastasia. I'm hoping I'm saying that right.
Right.
Yeah, you're good.
They were talking about how they created Mother Coral's like, hey, I carried them, and Mother Anastasia is like, hey, I created them. And then you guys were just talking about how the Force, it really it depends on the person, and it's not really dark side or light side. It just depends on the person using it. Okay, so we have these 2 people using the Force, we guess, to create these 2 lives. What if one of them is taking after Mother Anastasia, and the other one's coming after Mother Torben, and Mother Corbil and Mother Corbill's maybe a little dark-sided, so that's where May comes from, and then OSHA's coming after Mother Anastasia, who's been nothing but supportive and loving and positive and light-sided towards her daughters. I'm just saying maybe Mother Corbil is the baddie. Because we never found her body.
No,
well, I was gonna say people said that her body wasn't there. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
that's another thing. I mean, she might have something to do with all this. Like I said, this may be a bigger web than we think it is. Right? Mm-hmm. There might be different players here, but somebody's manipulating everybody, and they have little henchmen everywhere. So I don't know. And then how does Chimera play into all this? Right? So it's like, no.
Because the Sith are always hiding in plain sight. What if one of the Sith is either one of the Jedi or one of the witches, and they were sitting there waiting for their opportunity, and the Jedi come into planet was the opportunity for them to take on a new second.
Yeah.
In May or whoever. I don't know. There's so
Yeah.
many possibilities.
Well, there's
insane that a Sith made it into the Jedi Order for a little bit, like in the past.
Yeah.
And just like that would be fucking insane.
That'd be awesome.
Just to say they could, just to be like, yeah, I was in there for a little bit. It's all good, you know, whatever. They didn't know.
Another thing too that we can easily address and look at is the entire discussion of the act of the ascension, right? You know, the line that I love, it's a necessity to face fear. That's the whole point, is to face your fear, you know? But May goes in with no fear, whereas Osha goes in with everything that is fear. And of course, like Yoda says, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Osha knows that if she had stayed a witch, that she would not be fulfilling her life's purpose that she feels at that moment as a little girl, 8-year-old girl. But I think she deeply knows that fear would that thread, that destiny would determine her entire life. And when she saw Kalnaka and she saw the robes and she saw the lightsaber, you could see that she was falling in love with something that was different, something that was not of what she was grown up with. And, you know, and we don't know if this was a natural twin formation through the Force. It very well could be one organism or one cell or whatever, however you would say it, one zygote that, of course, Mother Anastasia could have split. So, like, you know, like they could have forced that where one personality is more dark side, one personality is more light side. A really interesting play on, you know, the duality of mythology and everything. But like, you can look at this and almost think to yourself, like, of course she feels that urge. You know, her sister's the one that's maybe the more talented, or maybe leans more into the witch side of everything, whereas she has, you know, Osha, like, represents something that's a little bit more Jedi, a little bit more to that level. Because look, the poem, I know I fucking, like, I went on that poem so much last week, but there's a line that I love: to the skies and to the sea. I mean, let's look at it that way. A sea is a dark, cold place. It can be isolating. Life also stems from it. And Osha clearly goes to the stars. Like, she literally leaves that planet. So I just love this show. There's so much symbolism and there's so much. There's just, oh my God. But like, I love that moment where, you know, May gets the mark and then Osha does it. Really easy storytelling there to know who is who and who's not who. You're not going to have a whole moment, you know, of people like, shoot her, no, shoot me. You know, like, it's not gonna be that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know,
just think of that goddamn like sketch with Andy Samberg and stuff. Yes. You see that, like your doppelganger and stuff. Yeah.
But no, I think it's cool. The Ascension itself was really interesting to see in Star Wars. I thought the song was really silly. I don't know if y'all felt that way. I thought the song was silly as fuck.
It was a little jarring, but at the same time, I was like, okay, this is new, and it was very witchy.
Yeah, it was very witchy.
Yeah, and it's just
very witchy.
It's one of those things that's like it's like, well, you know, in some ways, a lot of ceremonies like that can be over the top. You know,
yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, well, it's just Scotty. You're Catholic. I was raised, you know, a Protestant. So come on, like we know that shit is like fucking like, you know, weird sometimes. But you know, we're gonna be getting probably those little verses in a song dropping tomorrow as well.
I was wondering about that too, with like how much of it is like about the twins and how much of it is about the witches, right? That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And if there is a video, which I have a feeling to probably want to make a video about it, we'll see what it features, right? You know,
it'd be interesting.
Maybe we get more topless Yor dancing in it. Who knows?
Oh, hey, there you go. Isn't this interesting though, that this is the first time, I feel like this is the first time in Star Wars, right, where we've had like a song written like this.
Dude. Yes.
That is not diegetic, or I mean, it could be a little diegetic because that
right?
music in there. But you know, kind of like my heart will go on of Star Wars or something.
No, it's the lyrics that are so interesting. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Like it's not even that melodic. It's actually
you're singing. Listen, you're putting some sing-song into something.
I did.
You make it sound like Willy Wonka was fucking singing it, but it was
sounded weird.
It was the power of many. It was a chant. The power of two, the power of many.
It sounds very much like Catholic Mass.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But
Christ has risen, Christ will come again.
Oh, look at you.
It's giving that, right?
Yeah, I guess that Gregorian chant energy, man.
There you go.
For real.
Yes.
But to me, look, and I don't mean to make a joke of it because it was cool, it was effective, but it felt like an Always Sunny in Philadelphia song. You know, like Charlie Day has this fucking, "Hey man," it just feels like, or like Dennis has his songs in Always Sunny. Like this felt like the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Like it sounded.
It's like again, you're singing it like fucking Tom Jones.
I was wondering if Emma was going to say something about that. Yes.
Oh my god!
She's right.
There you go. There you go. She said it. We were all thinking it.
Yes.
We were all thinking it. Hey, listen. When the full track drops tomorrow, it'll probably be Scotty's whole fucking favorite song. Like Scotty's song of the summer. I guarantee you. If it mentions midichlorians, Scotty will come. Okay, like for real.
I just really enjoyed whenever it did flow, because it inevitably led to like the orchestral part, and like they're walking up and she's channeling the thread, and then she brings and she smacks her in the face with the thread. Like it was cool. That was really cool. I love the moment. The song just felt goofy at first, and when that one, which is like, ah! Oh, that's fucking cool. I'm like, I'm here for it, because we're so used to like, the kind of like the Force being really reverent, and it's, you know, Yoda lifting the X-wing, but this is kind of more like, oh fuck, like this feels like I'm in on some weird cult thing that I'm really enjoying. It was badass. I mean, I love that kind of stuff. It was cool. I don't know. I really did.
And how did you feel about the blood test happening on OSHA?
Oh, don't do it. No, not yet. No, my bad.
There's a whole section we got to get to, I guess.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that meme from Planet of the Apes, whatever the third one is. Oh no, you know, the little monkey. Have you seen that one? Oh no.
Oh no.
That's how
bad
I feel.
ape, man. Get some bad ape up in the joint, man.
No, I do want to address this though. This is the first time, and the Jedi have made me feel icky. But this shit made me feel so icky. This I was like, oh, yeah. I looked at Katie, I'm like, oh, I fucking hate how this makes me feel.
Yeah, many times.
When she was like, you shouldn't, you know, these are children. You can't be training children. They need to go to the Jedi temple. I'm like, oh no, that's messed up.
It was big, like it was big, like church. Like
dude.
Energy, just like we got to save these children from your abortion or something. I don't know. It was very like odd. It felt, I didn't like how they were like, especially using Republic law.
Yeah,
like what the hell? Like, why are you quoting even the Jedi in the prequels? I feel like wouldn't have been like, it's Republic law. I don't know, maybe like for like not for taking kids, you know.
I didn't like that.
So
Soul was like, we don't take the Jedi don't take kids, and Indara's like, well, maybe.
Well, by law,
right?
Well,
we have a say. Yeah.
Okay, so calm down.
We have keepsies. Yeah.
Well, you know, look, maybe OSHA's
Finders,
the cautionary
keepers,
tale. OSHA's the cautionary tale of this is what happens when you do take a child at the age older than a little kid. You know what I mean? And like even in Clone Wars, like they don't really paint it in a weird way. Like Ahsoka's taken as a child. You know what I mean? Plo Koon takes that little kid just because she can lift a block. You know what I mean? Like that's a little weird. Like no matter how you twist it and how poetic and beautiful you can make it. Oh yeah, no, all the servers get to go in the back with the priest anytime they want. It's fine. Don't fucking worry about it. This is like, you know, it's that same weird principle of like, no, they can come take your kids. It's Republic law. Like that's because this kid has shown signs of.
Let the sexless monks take the children with them. Yeah, it's fine. They're fine. Yeah.
Well, at least they're sexless.
It was an OSHA violation.
God for that.
Let me introduce you to my friend Elzar Mann.
Yeah.
Oh,
thirsty.
Yeah.
No, I I watched that, and I do agree with what Brian said earlier. Ajab, man, Jedis are bastards. That was a weird thing, and it was only in Dara because I guess they all have to mutually agree on it. They all represent that thing, but like, I don't know. Does anyone want to elaborate more on that? Because that genuinely made me uncomfortable.
The whole thing was incredibly weird, especially when they were like, "Oh, by the way, we didn't know you guys were here." Oh, really? So were you guys just hanging out?
You did?
On this uninhabited planet? She's like, I loved how Mother Anase called her out on that and was like, "Yeah, right. That was very creepy and weird. Why are the Jedi lying like that? That's unfortunate. They're trying to take the children. They're watching the kids." Secretly from behind trees in a park.
When Soul peeked out from behind the tree, I'm like, Soul, don't. No.
Like, I don't think he's allowed within 30 parsecs of a school.
There you go, Joe.
It's making me feel uncomfortable.
It really did feel like that. It did.
But like, even Mother Anasea was like, come on now. Like, you going to just walk into our village while we're in the middle of a seance? You know what I mean? Like,
and then they just happen to be there when all the entire coven dies. Something's up. Something's happening.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, Joe.
Pretty sus.
Yeah, look, I just know that this show, of course, is doing what Leslie Headland promised. How did the Jedi of the Phantom Menace even exist? You know what I mean? Like, how did they even exist in the way that they are? It's because of, unfortunately, Jedi like that. And look, I know I've seen arguments, the Jedi are bad. This shows something. No, it's not saying the Jedi are bad. No. It says the Jedi do have their flaws, much like maybe the witches do, much like the Sith.
They're only human. What does George always fucking say? They aren't superheroes. They aren't gods. They're men who, women, children, whoever. They're these people who have a little bit of a power that they use to help other people. They're not superheroes. They're not superhuman. And so
they're also individuals because I don't trust Indara or Torben specifically.
Yeah, those are the two. Yeah, again, they're on my shit list too right now. I just don't.
The two that are dead too. The two that are, so it can't just be them. Yeah, they're the two that are dead. That's the thing. So if they were the two that were the problem, then
they might not have. Oh my god, they had a boss. They had someone they were working under. Come on, I'm so excited.
I know what you did last summer.
I want to see Smiley Face. I want to know who the cute guy in the smiley face mask was.
Yeah. How many episodes you said we have? We have 5 more left.
5 left.
4.
But don't we have another season? Don't we have another season?
No,
we probably do. Actually, I think we do. I mean, hopefully we'll find out like what is going on with all this season.
I'm sure we will.
And we'll just continue with things. But listen, I just hope. Listen, let's not have Klanaka be. I don't think you would make the dog be like the family dog, but he's not the family dog. I'm sorry, he's a person. But I mean, like it's like the like a huge like the person who is basically like the loyalty of a family pet and stuff. And just like don't make him be the bad guy. I don't think he will be. But
there's one more beat too that I don't think I've seen addressed all that much. But whenever Soul takes a lightsaber off and Indara's like, "No, Soul," I was like, "You really think she was gonna get that violent that quickly?" There's a trust problem there. There really is, because what she does, what he does is take it down and lets her look at the lightsaber like this is our weapon.
Maybe that was her first thought, was like, damn, I wish I could slaughter these people. So when Soul takes it out and
okay.
Wait. Maybe I need to cool.
Yeah. Maybe I need the one that needs to chill the hell out.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that they even agree to go through that training is so interesting too. Like the fact that, because look, if I'm going to be honest with you, if these people, let's just say this, a police officer shows up to my house in the middle of me doing a seance, and it's like a sacred thing for me and my people. Sure. We've also got some weird connection. Maybe we've got family. I don't know, but we're sitting there and police shows up, tells me I can't do these things. Then we come to a mutual agreement on like, hey, but we'll bring our kids to the gun range. You can show our kids, like maybe they have some sort of gun aptitude, right? So like, Mark's taking it off. Oh, I thought Mark was taking. I was getting. Oh, I would take mine. I'll take mine.
I took mine off a long time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go.
Hell yeah!
All right, boys.
Oh yeah.
Time.
It's hot.
Did I stick
18 or older now. 18 or older.
It's getting hot. But no. What I was going to say is that the fact that it even agreed to the terms of the situation is fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think Mother honestly specifically is like kind of pretty open. Like she seemed like a very open leader and a very, I mean, she was standoffish and like, you know, trying to hide the kids, but she wasn't like, Osha, you cannot do this. You know, she's like, what, you have to make the decision. And so I feel like she maybe was not like as I don't know, closed off.
What'd you think of the what did y'all think of the old CGI lady who was like, I think Celestian maybe? Looks like freaking
she looks like Pem and Bruce Brunts to me from Last Jedi, like whatever those things are.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
With the old lady,
I sent it today in a group chat, and Alden said that it's the typical Star Wars theory viewer. So, if you know what I'm looking at, Anyway, let me find that again.
But it's looking at and that whole moment is, well, you can test them, but they can also fail on purpose, and like. Clearly May does, because May walks off that ship like, oh yeah, I got their ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But May never had intentions to join in the first place. Whereas Osha's a little bit more open. You can tell she wants to be a part of that lifestyle. I mean, she sees the ship and she's like, oh my god, she sees a Wookiee and there's a speeder. Oh my god, like this is amazing. Like these are things I've never seen before on my planet right now. And if I were to leave with them, we're good. Oh my god, look at that.
I think that lady's one of these guys.
Yeah,
I love when Star Wars aliens look like ball sacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that test also reminded me of that scene in Ghostbusters 2 with Bill Murray testing the folks with the shock. Remember?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Someone I saw someone on Twitter saying they just give kids the Venkman and then just like see like what they Oh man.
This
was definitely very much like that.
Into my next thing, which I thought was, if I'm gonna have a moment here, it was the moment where Anase is talking with Coral, and them fighting over what Osha should do. She's just a child, but she has her own choice. She's old enough to understand. Mother Anase, I mean, it's a damn good parent, honestly. You know what I mean? Old enough.
She was fucking great.
She's a great parent because, I mean, hell, like, I have my parents even struggle with that. Like, this is this dude's interest. Let him do it. You know what I mean? Like, I see it all the time with my school, my kids that I teach. Like, there's kids that are like forced to play volleyball and they don't want to play fucking volleyball. They want to play guitar. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you see it all the time. And I know as a parent, it's a difficult thing to do, but like, it was that moment that really interested me, of course, because it shows, what it means to be a parent. That whole entire obviously difficult interaction, but it was the part that got me super excited. The part that made me stand up whenever, I carried them, right? That moment I carried them. They're mine. And then she goes, I created them. So, okay. I want to know what y'all thought of that before I talk about it for an hour. Not really, but you know what I mean? Like, did that lift any of you like it lifted me? I was like, they just did this. Like, they just went somewhere I never thought they'd go.
Yeah.
Were you like super intrigued by it, Mark? Because I was like, my brain was like, I was like, oh my God.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know that I mean, it's obviously an intriguing thing because the fact that you can create beings out of this power, right? But the fact that, was it done for love or to fill that void of, we can't have children, but how about if we use this force that we love to create, right, these children, right? But if there was more of a devilish plan behind it all again, then that's horrible, right? You know, but if the intention was to love, to have children, to nurture them, to raise them and make, good little witches, then all good, right? So I don't know. I don't know how. That's just the whole thing. I think that no matter how you look at it, I just feel like the girls, they're manipulated by almost everybody around them, and that really bugs the hell out of me. It's like these poor girls, they're caught up in the middle of the storm, right? So I want to know a little more about that. What was the reason behind this all? How did this all come about? Because that's interesting. It's like you've put it out there. We need to know more.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I think it all has to do with intention. I mean, my mind just goes back to Palpatine at the silly little opera talking about the dark side and all the things it can do, like creating life or keeping life away from death. And that's honestly where the first place my mind went was like, oh, were they using the dark side, to create new life in a different way. Although we don't know. There's the galaxy is a big place, and the Force is being used in many different new ways by other people who don't define it in the same way as the Sith and the Jedi. So it's really interesting, and I would like to learn more, and I hope we get to learn more in the show.
Okay, Jerry, as someone who like really loves canon too, did that in any way, did you like second guess, like, this is kind of breaking what I like? Because I don't feel like it broke canon at all, but I know some people were all up in arms like, oh my god, they just retconned Anakin. But like,
so are you saying, does it break the canon that isn't necessarily canon, that people think
that Anakin's
that because of a comic panel that Palpatine created Anakin inside of Shmi? No, because for one thing, he's not born yet, and he can fucking discover some shit that are like, listen, people have done. You're not the first person to do anything, you dipshit. Yes. Anyone here on the screen? I'm sorry, none of y'all are dipshits, but the dipshits out there on the internet, you're not the first person to even like. You're not the first person to do fucking anything. Anything that is under listen, there's one part of the Bible I still remember that I think is a very true statement, and it comes from one of the books of wisdom, which has some wisdom and some very patriarchal shit, but this is some good wisdom, and it is, there is nothing new under the sun. And I don't know why I got so fucking deep with this shit to say that, like, no, I don't think it breaks canon. But listen, just because Plagueis and Palpatine might have done this doesn't mean they're the ones who originated the technique.
No,
okay?
Exactly. That was
a lot of times they're bringing the ancient weird shit from way back in the past and they're trying it in the modern era.
Yeah.
So,
look, if I could have my soapbox for 1 second, I just felt that in that moment, this opens up a new way of looking at what the Force is, in the sense of, yes, you can generate life, but who's to say, like, what happened in Plagueis, for those that do not know on screen or in the chat, Palpatine and Plagueis were trying their best to like just harness the dark side of the Force. Well, the Force literally struck back and said, we're gonna make something pure of light and pure of love and pure of everything that's not the dark side in the womb of a random person. That, and it happened to be Shmi, which happened to be Anakin, who happened to be found on Tatooine when Qui-Gon arrived there. And of course, that is literally the thread. That is literally, as Alden says, the tapestry. That is everything. That's the Force willing all of that into existence and for it to happen. But the biological aspect's very interesting, because at no point did Palpatine ever go over Shmi even like, I'm going to build something inside your womb. No, it was an act that caused that to occur, where this is intentional. This, you are quite literally controlling the midichlorians in some capacity. And I feel that way in this woman's womb to create life. Now, who's to say she didn't already have life in her and they somehow split that zygote into two different twins? Maybe that's the anomaly. Maybe the anomaly is twins, not just life itself. It is the fact that it's two of identical, traits and personalities, probably abilities, because we already got twins. We've already got Luke and Leia, right? Yeah. That's a real gene that exists in Star Wars, and they are biologically, bound. And I guess in midichlorians they are. They have the midichlorians of Anakin in their system. And then you look at Ben Solo down the line, you look at Rey, they're a dyad, they're bound together. There's duality there. I think people get so obsessed with like, oh, Anakin was the first one. No. Maybe that's the cautionary tale of it all. Maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you made two really messed up people that, of course, had some sort of outcome that we don't know yet, and we'll see in about, 5 episodes in about 5 weeks. Like, I just hope people realize that if you let a story unfold, everything will be revealed to you later. And obviously we don't. Maybe, fuck, I don't know. Might be.
So I just shared some too. It was like someone shared like a screenshot. I don't know if it was actually Star Wars Theory or someone sharing Star Wars Theory, whatever. But it's something about like how like now they don't need men to have babies. And I'm like about like this thing, and I'm like, Shmi didn't have a fucking man either, dude. What the hell are you talking about?
It's the classic Jurassic Park. Life finds a way. I mean, that is biology. I mean, if you look at it, like there are so many organisms that are genderless and sexless, and there are literal like virgin births. Like frogs have it all the time. Some frogs just fucking give birth, and like they lay eggs. There's no mates. It biologically it can happen. I don't think it's happened to a human yet, except for mythology. But like, there's something really interesting to that concept, and it's not, and look, let's be real, it's not a virgin birth. There was some manipulation that was intentional on two people's parts for a child to be conceived in that womb. That's not a virgin birth. That is, there might not be physical penetration, but it is most certainly the causality of two people doing one thing. Is it
weird that Osha and May aren't parts of Brack? As far as we can tell.
See, that's another weird thing, right? That's also super vague. They don't have horns. At least we don't see them.
They don't have the facial markings. They don't have tattoos, or because she had a difference. It's interesting.
The same skin color as Mother and Asaya, and I don't know.
She sort of had like some sort of like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I don't know if people wants to go crazier on that, because like that's something that I was struggling with people commentating on. I'm like, y'all know what you're talking about, and I respect what you're talking about, but like I've done a lot of research on this in Star Wars, and I know what you're trying to say, but like it's a weird thing. I get it's a hot topic thing, and people want clicks and likes and whatever, but like it's not as overcomplicated as some people are making it out to be. It really is very straightforward.
Let lesbians have dark side babies. Let lesbians have dark side babies.
They're better parents than you asshole.
Yeah. But look, this leads into the training moment, and I love the training because I've seen kids do this. They fail on purpose. You know what I mean? And they're not good at it. Like I've seen kids purposely fail. They're just not good at it. And there's an honesty there, and I honestly. That's when I feel like the Jedi are good. And I mean that. Like, that was a pure moment. We're like, like, come on now. You can, it's okay. Like, you want this life. It's okay to have this life, Yeah. Yeah, the blood part did get me pumped up, though. I'm probably the only person I saw.
I think everyone's excited.
I think everyone in at least our circle on Star Wars Twitter, anyone who has heard like Scotty, like who's seen one of Scotty's tweets, thought of you like that night. I feel like, because I know I was like sitting there, I was like, oh fuck, we're doing a full Phantom Menace here, man.
Ask Katie, I jumped up and I yelled, no fucking way. Like,
that was like I got psyched whenever it cut from the blood test to the screen. He was like had the same exact like fucking iPad with a like mirror on the wall iPad that Samuel Jackson has. Like, man, come on.
And look, you know what?
So cool. I was waiting for them to say ship and cup. Like I was waiting for there to be a ship and cup on there.
Right here. I love this because this is the modern day in which we live.
Yeah.
This is possible now. Same-sex relationships can have children through surrogates or through, actually putting the fertilized cell in the womb. Like, that's so cool. And like this is reflecting real life. You know what I mean? And like I know they kept saying this Star Wars is so gay. This is the gayest Star Wars. Like I know that even Leslie Headland say that. That's awesome. Like this is fantastic.
It's
like it
is way too long. It took way too long to get there, but sure. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, and honestly, it's not gay enough.
Yeah, we still have.
I was gonna say it's still. I'm still gonna be able to watch this.
This is happening now. Just wait.
Yeah. So I love that Osha, of course, tries to fail the test, can't fail the test, which is awesome. And then this is where my brain got super like scattered. I was like, okay, the way these things are shot, the way these things are framed, the fact that May loses her temper is like, you failed, you tried to fail the test and you couldn't, you told the truth. And like, we know this, we've been told this since we were kids, like the truth is good. Don't lie, tell the truth, And it's honestly, the more you lie, the more it does weigh on your actual person. It just does. You get threaded in these things, you get threaded in these moments of like, I don't know who I'm telling what to. And they're compulsive liars are a real thing. We probably all know one. And like, it's sad, and the fact that May was okay with lying and Osha was not is a interesting duality there. There's something kind of interesting to that. And she gets so upset. And there's that emotional fallout. There's that moment where they lose their shit. So this is where I wanted to get speculation. I just want to go on the speculation train with y'all. May does start the fire. But off screen, when Osha's freaking out, there's like a crack noise, like, poof, and then there's just more fire. You don't see who does it. Where are we going with this, gentlemen? Where are we going with this? What do you think happened at that moment? When she's like, don't freak out, calm down, don't panic, and she's trying to get in that door. What do you think is happening outside that door at that moment?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it was the fire, obviously, that killed the coven.
No.
May seems very distraught when she meets back up with Osha on the bridge.
Yes.
And she's saying that they're dead, and she seems very upset by it. It doesn't seem like she killed them. No. And she says, "What did you do to Osha?" You know what I mean? Meaning like, you brought the Jedi here. So I'm thinking the Jedi did it. Probably Indara. And that's my guess. But we don't know.
Oh, God, it's so interesting. Mark, what about you? Because like I just love that it was intentionally cut. There's so many things that were intentionally cut. You get all of Osha's perspective in this one moment. But like y'all said earlier, like, who's to say the next episode or the next couple episodes you get May or Anastasia or Kanaka? Like, I don't know. What are you thinking with that moment, dude?
Obviously, we're gonna get like you were mentioning earlier, the different perspectives about what happened in that moment, right? It's going to be revealed what led up to that moment, what happened to the witches, when all this was going on, obviously, because I want to see what happened from May's perspective, I want to see what happened from the witches' perspective, and then obviously from whoever was manipulating everything, however that works. I mean, and once we get those pieces put together, we'll realize, oh, that's why this happened. That's why they were already dead by the time it got there. It's like, this is what set that off, But yeah, there's so much we don't know yet. So it's like, I don't want to, there's some things I don't want to take a guess on just yet, but it's like, it's like, what the hell? It's like, how did this, well, let's just say this. Someone struck at that moment, knowing that it was going to be the moment that they could get the most out of. They were distracted on there, right? They were completely distracted. There was this fire going on, and they're like, this is the time to strike. Let's do what we need to now, you know? And so they've let their guard down. But that's about all I can say on that, because I don't know that I know too much or have a formed thought about everything that had happened at that point.
Yeah, but I love that you brought up the idea of it being like, I don't know. I look at this whole perspective as if you were looking at maybe like a globe, like, or something from like a bird's eye perspective. Like, I want to see the exact moment in which May started that fire, how she ended up on that bridge, then she fell into that hole, then she goes back to that tree, the Bunta tree, and the chat's going off about the fucking Bunta tree right now, which is very important. Because
I was gonna say,
the Bunta tree, they made it a thing in the first episode that the Bunta tree contains some poison or so. Like, why do they bring up the Bunta tree? And like, to me, look, this is where my brain gets super mythological. To me, that symbolizes like the Garden of Eden. This is the place you can't go to, but you're still hanging around there, Osha. This is the place you should not be. You should not take advantage of this garden. And yes, if you were to eat from the fruit, it is poison or it will ruin the rest of your life. And that's the place where she finds comfort is this beautiful garden that happens to be poisonous and happens to be a threat. And why bring that up? Why even bring that up if you're not gonna fulfill it?
The Jedi are the devil offering the apple of knowledge.
Yes, come here, look. Come here, come take my apple. This is what you want, child. You know, this is everything you've known is not what you thought. Take this apple. Like, it's very real. I mean, it's
yeah. You know, we got a lot of dead witches. We got a poison tree if it's poisonous if you eat it. Yes. And we've got a lot of talk of sweet creams around that place. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Just saying.
Instead of an apple, you think it should be a mailer run?
yeah, probably.
Yes, the mailer for the. But look, there's another cool thing. There's another really cool mythological thing there too. Is like once they leave, you know what I mean? Once Osha leaves, like Osha's fine. May unfortunately is stuck with the problems of everything, with everything that was left in the dirt and the fire and the dust. Like her whole civilization is gone. Everything she knew. There is a hero's journey aspect where you cross the threshold, you're in a different zone. Whereas, you know, Osha crosses the threshold of like, oh, I'm going to the light. This is the Jedi. Whereas May is doing this downward thing. It's kind of Darth Maul. It's kind of not even Anakin. I mean, I guess maybe a little bit in Revenge of the Sith, but like you're going down this other path. Like everything you knew is also over, and it could be your fault. You don't know because you're a kid, but you as a kid also think your sister did it. Like that's where I'm curious. Why in the world does May think that Osha did that? Like Osha is dead, you know? And oh God, that's where it's so perplexing. Why is Soul the only person there to save anyone? You know? And Endara is in the courtyard, and the other ones are near like the I guess sacred worship area. Like they're bundled. And Anasea is the only one alone in that little courtyard, whereas in the worship area, it's all the witches. So like, was there a final fight? God, I love this. I really love this.
It doesn't really look like a fight. It looks like people were just exterminated, frankly.
Yeah.
The way they're just laying there. It doesn't look good.
Oh,
it doesn't look good at all.
What do you think? So we agree it's like an explosion, right? An explosion could have taken them out, like a concussive force. There we go.
True.
Technically, yeah.
I guess it's something to do with that energy thing that they heard the sound near.
Oh God. And I wonder, maybe they were worshiping some sort of organism that was in that tunnel that Jerry was talking about. Maybe there's something there that you know they gotta keep at bay every day, and if they don't, this shit will fucking come out and kill everybody. Like this is the best show so far because Mando, you would go, oh, week to week, we're on a different adventure. Andor was like, oh man, this is so dramatic and political, and I'm so intrigued. And then Ahsoka was a little bit more Mando-esque, and Boba Fett was more Mando-esque. This is the first show where I'm like, my God, this mystery really is just so good and complex. And it like we said, it's not a who done it, it's a why done it. Like why are these people motivations, you know, going towards this direction? And I don't know. I love that May falls into the hole, but Soul is also, I mean, the Soul has the Force. I don't know if Soul realizes that because he could have been like
I thought I noticed that this time too. Like, why didn't you use the Force to grab both of them or something? You know,
you didn't have to grab her arm.
What you don't realize is he did use the Force, but he was pushing May down. He just
exactly.
Fail the test.
Like
exactly.
Yeah.
What a world.
I just don't like I really don't like the moment where she wakes up and look, this is another weird Star Wars thing. We had like 3 fade to blacks in a row, which we do not get in Star Wars. That's a very rare thing because that to me feels like the Rashomon. That feels like the TLJ. You know, like that's the end of that. So then you wake up and you get Osha's side, right? And you get her on the Jedi ship. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but look at our boy Torben in the back. He is fucked up. His face is tore up. He is like messed up. It's the scars that he has, you know, in the other scene. Like it is very visible that he got hurt in some capacity.
I feel like he got those from Kalnaka.
Oh, see,
that's
like,
that's what I'm waiting to see. Yeah.
And not with the lightsaber either. I bet we get a full on like Wookiee just like mauling, like pawing his face.
Please do.
And listen, maybe they turn him into a black-eyed child again. And he goes kind of crazy, you know, like old school Clone Wars with Ahsoka and everything like that. You know, I don't know.
And look,
maybe he is a piece of shit.
I love this.
You know,
he saw Saul use the Force to rescue Ocean from falling. I mean, like
it was pretty blatant. Like there was a couple of things like Indara like grabbed someone in the first like few minutes of the show, and then like a couple of times like Soul grabs May at the end when they're fighting, like holds her there and stuff like that. So it's like did you just not know that technique or something like back then with the children? Or
maybe May doesn't know, like maybe Soul really is the good guy and May believes that too. Maybe that's why she's so apprehensive to kill Soul. But Indara, quick to kill Indara, quick to give Corbin the poison. Maybe Kalnaka is another one where she's like,
she tries to kick him a bunch too. You know,
maybe this guy never did me wrong, but we know the whole entire motivation is that she wants to please the Sith that she's trying to
the master.
And, it could be on Asaya. Maybe that's like, I mean, like it could be. You know, they said she was dead, but they also said May was dead. So like, how trustworthy are they really? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. This show's fantastic. I can't. I don't understand.
So exciting.
This show is so good. But yeah, look, they bookended it perfectly. May goes back to the Bunta tree looking for her sister, and she's gone.
Do you think the next episode will be with Kalnaka? On the planet with Kalnaka?
I hope so.
I think we are going
back to that, right? Yeah.
I think so. Here's what I'm predicting. I kind of counted it out, and I feel we got 8 episodes, right? So we do the first 2 that are in the present, and then 16 years later. Then I think we'll do 2 more in the present, and then go back, and then do 2 more to end it.
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
Look, I'll say this: we've all got friends that know that have Lucasfilm connects and stuff. We know the first 4 episodes were sent out as streaming.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm starting to believe that the bigger twists, the bigger shocks will be in episodes, episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8. Like I think those will be the moments where we're like, what? And we get on these streams and we near about pass out. So like I don't know.
Yeah.
I love this show. I'm so glad we could talk about it. I'm so glad that y'all care so much about this as much as we do to talk about it, because it's honestly like some Star Wars shows, hit for some people, some miss for some people.
Yeah, and that's okay, right?
This one, man, what? God bless. So good.
It hit.
Any final thoughts? Anything else you wanted to kind of harp on? I know, Joe, you took some notes. I don't know. Last time you got very excited and shared us your thoughts towards the end.
I did. I'm very excited about the show. I think I have less notes this episode because we are in that flashback sort of a zone. But I'm very excited to see how things go. There's so many open-ended questions. I'm 90% sure that we have a second season on slate for the show. I'm pretty sure. So
Eli was saying earlier, I'm sorry, Leslie says she wants to do as many seasons as she possibly can, is what she's said.
Give it to us.
I don't know if we're gonna get all the answers this season. So
I'd be so messed up.
You're gonna get some. You boys might have some blue balls. You might have some blue balls. But I'm very excited. I'm excited about the dark side. I love the smiley face killer. He's so cute. Or she. They had a very slender wrist. I'm thinking it might be a young female.
I saw a breakdown from somebody. They were like the shoulders and everything, like like how it looks very feminine and stuff like that. So
we'll see. I would love a bad Sith lady girl. I mean, that's
what I'm saying. That's what I
it's
want.
time.
Talk about a gay icon. It's June. Give us a gay icon.
Fucking time.
Give us a baddie. Give us a baddie.
That'll be so much fuel to the fire for those freaking right-wing nuts. They're like, see, they made her. They made her.
And make her gay.
And she's gay. And she's the villain. Sarge is doing it right. You know what I mean?
God damn. You know what I fucking hate the most about like the fact that they took that South Park episode and took the like they're making fun of you, you fucking numb.
They don't. Yeah. No, they don't get it. They don't get it.
Good God.
Oh,
Oh.
well, look, I love that we could share this conversation together tonight. I've had a blast. I don't know if anyone wants to plug anything or anything they're looking forward to next week. I just know I've enjoyed talking about this deeply with everyone here on screen and of course in the chat. Y'all have been wonderful tonight, very vocal, very happy to be here. And I don't know, I'm glad we're all experiencing this together. It really is kind of a beautiful thing.
Yes, me too.
Good. Mark, you got anything going on you want to plug?
Sure. I mean, well, you can catch me on Sunday evenings with the Bombad crew shooting the poodoo. And so that's always a lot of fun. Please stop by and say hi. And then also you can catch me with the Gotham Outsiders. It's me, TJ, and Chris, and it's a queer podcast where we talk about the DC books, but we basically talk a lot about the Bat books. So, yeah, a lot of fun.
Awesome. Fantastic. Mark, I'm so glad you could come tonight. Joe, what about you? Anything you want to plug?
I have my merch out. My merch came out.
The merch came out. Let me get a link.
Joe, so is that real? I didn't know if it was real product or not. Is it?
I collabed with dragqueenmerch.com, who does all the RuPaul Drag Race Girls merch, and Bible Girl specifically, who's a close personal friend. Love Bible Girl. Bible Girl, tell it, Bible Girl. And we collabed on some merch, and I'm so grateful. And it came out, and you know, even if no one buys any, I'm still over the moon excited about it. It makes me
I will show
happy.
everyone on stream.
Awesome.
Look, I get paid on next Friday, and I will be buying a few of these things. The one that I want is this one. I love this one. This one just simply says, "I hate Joe Organa."
That's my favorite
Wow.
too.
Yeah. And like have
what?
people ask me, who the fuck is Joe Organa?
I'm going to be going
matter.
to FlameCon this year. I hope to. I should buy it just to wear it there and see what people say.
And there's a crop version. There's a crop version. You crop yourself. I added a crop line. So you know where to cut, and you can cut it shorter if you want, but I made a little conservative cut because I like it to hit just above my jeans so that I'm walking down the street and no one's like, oh, no, he's not a whore. And then I lift my hand to wipe my hair away and they see a little bit of the hap trail. They're like, oh, he is a whore. So it's like a little game. So, okay, guys, if you're into it, if you like it, feel free to buy it. If you don't want, there's also a Speedo. Get the I Heart Joe Organa Speedo.
I love
Scotty.
this,
I need you in that. I need you. In
Oh
that
God!
Me and Scotty are gonna do a full episode in those right there. Yeah,
I can't do it on stream, but I will gladly send you pictures. The sweatpants are great too. Look at these.
Oh, I love those. Those are great.
Those honestly, I love those because you get like the cuffed.
Thank you. Because dude, as a shorty, most of those fucking drag on the floor. So
yes.
Well, there you go. Won't have that problem.
Absolutely, Mark. Yes. Listen, we're both short kings, and we both know that it's like it is a fucking pain to drag me. Fuck, man. Fuck the big and tall stores. Give me a short and small.
Yes.
I love this one.
Yes.
George,
Scotty,
just
with my cat on.
Okay, that might be the one I get. I love that.
Scotty, pull up the slut shirt, please.
Okay, yeah.
I need you to pull up a slut shirt. There you go. There's one of them.
There.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. So,
these
we're
are
shorts up. Link is on my Twitter. So go over to
I love it.
There's another one that looks kind of. Oh, whoa! Look at the white ones. The white and red. That's actually kind of.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, damn.
It shows off the package really well.
Yes,
too.
exactly. That was my intention. Your penis will be seen by everyone. You're welcome.
Those will be stained by salsa so quick if they were in my house. So we're not going to do that.
So.
One. No.
Everyone will know if you've been circumcised. You're welcome. Team.
There you go.
You're welcome, team.
No, one thing.
By the way, Evan's yelling at me because I did not say the time of the Boaxium show, and it's 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m.
There you go.
Relaxium. Have it documented.
Sorry about that.
Shout out. We'd love that.
One thing I will say too is I'm going on a work trip to Vegas for like a teacher leadership summit, and I think I'm seeing. I bought my tickets. I'm seeing the Grateful Dead in the Sphere. I think I'm gonna rock this shirt there.
Yes.
There's something kind of like because you know all those old stoners be like, who's Joe Organa, dude? I'm like, he's the worst. You know, I gotta buy the I hate Joe Organa one.
Then you should go into like a Darth Plagueis type story.
Yes,
freak him out.
Is that something the Jedi would tell?
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Joe Organa?
Exactly.
Joe Argana the gay.
yeah. Please.
Joe Argana's a
please.
whore.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway,
oh my God.
this one's great too. This looks like an old rock and roll tee.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, that's
the
oh, with the kitty on it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's called Cat
love
Scratch. It's Kitty
There's
Cat
some,
Scratch.
that's some great merch, man.
Thank
This is
you.
good.
Okay, that's cool.
Thank you so much. I drew that cat myself.
How do I get on? How does Bombadcast become part of Drag Queen merch? That'd be incredible, wouldn't it? Wow, that'd be awesome.
That'd be insane. Oh man, can't wait to send that link to my mother. Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this one.
Exactly.
Look at this one. Team Joe Argana.
Morgana.
Oh,
I love my
God,
teammates.
man.
I love my crew.
it.
God, man, that's awesome, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm pumped
you.
for that. It's gonna be fantastic. Make sure you go check out Baraxium. Everyone,
Yes,
thank you for
yes.
joining the Bombad cast. We had a great night tonight. If I can plug anything, it'd be that midichlorian video essay. I hopefully get some more traction because of this show. And I'm telling y'all, the second they say midichlorians, I'm going to it. I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna die. You're just gonna see that video just constantly posted everywhere because everyone's so curious. But no, Jerry, anything you want to say? Because we gotta let Mark give us a Stay Bombad tonight. We gotta hear it from Mark.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I mean, hey, listen. Eventually, we're going to finish Ionized Bastards. That we got like the penultimate episode and the finale coming up of season 2. So stay tuned for that. No, but besides that, again, on all remaining systems, YouTube channel, which is our good friend Michael McBoy. So go check that out. And no, I got nothing else. So Mark, what should the wonderful people do?
Stay Bombad.
Yeah, everybody. See you next week.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share.
What is it? Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A soundless disregard